Hey, good evening. Welcome to another nightly edition of John Plays Immaculate Grid in his hotel room. One of these days, I might get, a decent webcam so it doesn't look like I'm shooting this in the late 1990s. But today is not that day. And as we all know, the 1990s were a great time for me to watch baseball, and that's where most of my baseball knowledge kind of originates from. But in any event, the poor quality of this camera will go away as I go to the top of the screen. So let's do that. Sharing now. I guess I have to share my whole screen. Bam. That's the rarity from yesterday. Hit and refresh, hit and go, and away we go. Okay. Let's see here. Satchel page. Josh Gibson played shortstop. A Negro League shortstop. Did Cool Papa Bell play shortstop? Shoot, I don't. Oh, Jackie Robinson played shortstop. Okay, that was most of them. All right, let's see. Lincecum, first guy that came to mind. Bob Gibson, why not? Catcher, Buster Posey. Let's go Richard really Brandon Crawford's probably higher. Oh well. And Edgar Renteria and Daryl Porter. Well, I didn't spell his name right. I was over anyway. I don't pronounce people's names right. I sometimes don't spell them right. 115 again. Maybe that's par for the course with the laptop. I'll get my the battery replaced on my wireless mouse one of these days. All right, was it grid 305? Just remembering that for later for when I upload it. All right, let's share the screen. I don't know if this makes for good content since I am trying to go fast, but I'm not talking through them all. Anyway, that's right. I did actually scuffle though on trying to come up with a Negro League shortstop. I'm pretty sure Cool Papa Bell played shortstop. I did Ernie Banks play in a major Negro League, which is to say one of the seven that now have their stats shown alongside. And there's a very easy way to find out. Oh, not that easy. I don't know if 53 is when he started with the Cubs. I'm not gonna take that chance there. All right. So who are some more obscure people? Let's go with the Jacks. I'm gonna go with no wait, I can't do that. Well, let's go with Jack Powell. That's right. Jack Quinn did not play for the Giants. He played for the Dodgers, not the Giants. But Jack Powell played for the Cardinals and Browns, both St. Louis teams, and won over 200 games. That's how I remember him. That's a good start. Um, and for shortstop, let's go with Hall of Famer Travis Jackson. Sub 1%. Hall of Famer Ernie Lombardi. Oops. I wasn't wrong, was it? 0.1. What's a pretty obscure Giants pitcher? I feel obligated to go with Bullet Rogan here because of my book. It takes 1%. So that means Bullet Rogan still has a ways to go in popularity. I did call him the pitcher of the 1920s. In chapter 15 of my book. I'm a big Bullet Rogan fan. I want to learn more about the life of this man. I think he's like even on the scale of Negro League grades, he's underrated in the sense that he didn't get elected to the Hall of Fame until the late 90s, which means a lot of people went ahead of him. Including because like Satchel Paige was the first person inducted, and there were kind of waves in the years that followed. And Bullet Rogan doesn't get elected until the 90s, but the man was like one of the best hitters in the game and one of the best pitchers in the game at the same time. And he was manager of the Kansas City Monarchs. He's a fascinating baseball player. Anyway, let's see here. Catchers. So let's see. Mike Matheny is always a fun favorite as a Brewer, but he was also manager of the Cardinals, so I don't think that's going to be terribly sneaky. Obviously, I'm not going to go with Yachty. I went Daryl Porter for some reason, which I mean was only a few percent. Um, Pat Borders briefly was a Cardinal. Point one. Nice. Um, and now I'm going to reveal some ignorance because I don't know a whole lot of like I'm pretty sure Cool Bop Bell played shortstop. I'm now trying to think of Negro League catchers that I know that aren't Josh Gibson. Wouldn't surprise me if I might just like yeah, I'm trying to think of like some of the like Artie Wilson who hit 433 in 1948. Heavy Johnson had a batting average in the 460s or something in back-to-back years. But I don't think either of those guys were catchers. What about Roy Campanella? When does his career start according to Okay, so Campanella will definitely work. He was playing in 1937. Let's focus on just finding some obscure people who've played. So like Ozzie Smith is an obvious one. I think after Ozzie Smith you get Royce Clayton. After Royce Clayton you get Edgar Renneria. Um, Before Ozzie Smith you get Gary Templeton. And then did Hornsby play shortstop? He might have a little bit. I mean, obviously he's more of a second baseman, but he might have just a little bit. Let's see how Clayton does. 2%. Interesting. All right. And for the Giants, how obscure do I want to get? Let's go 20 game. Sorry, Sal. 20 game winner, Sal Magley. Unless, what's a better? He's my guy. I'm going with Roberto Hernandez. 0.03. Nice. All right. So I could have probably done better on a lot better on these. Probably even this one if I really sat down and thought about it. But now I'm gonna just reveal a fair amount of ignorance here. I think I'm just gonna go with Roy Campanella. Oh, he takes a lot. Was that more than Gibson? All right. Well, let's find out if Cool Papa Bell played shortstop. He did not. What position did Cool Papa Bell play? I probably center field. He was very fast. Ex Almost exclusive. But I mean, he played a little bit of second base, a little bit of right field, a little bit of first base, third base, just not shortstop. Interesting. He works for almost everywhere else, at least for a game. Just never was a shortstop. All right. Well, that's something I gotta bone up on. I gotta read up on what position. I think like with a lot of the Negro League players that I've looked into, and mostly it was for my book. Um, I uh I looked at like their hitting stats and didn't even bother to find out what position most of them played. Um, so that's the ones I was looking into. Bullet Rogan was obviously an exception because I thought it was cool. They played center field and pitcher and was basically Pedro Martinez and Bernie Williams all wrapped into one. Peak Bernie Williams. Anyway, I am gonna call it there. Came up short, but it's a learning area I should get into. Well, thanks a lot for playing, and you all have a great rest of your night. Peace.